Asheesh Divetia, Head of Engineering and Technology for Cirtec Medical. Thank you so much for joining us on the Future of MedTech Opportunities, a segment as part of DeviceTalks Weekly.
Thank you for having me, Kayleen.
So we're going to talk through smart catheter innovation. So what is your connection to smart catheter innovation, your background, your history? Catch me up.
I'm an electrical engineer by training, and I got my master's and PhD in biomedical engineering from UC Irvine, Zot Zot. And right after I graduated from UC Irvine, I joined Cirtec Medical as an R&D engineer. For people who are not very familiar with Cirtec Medical, we are one of the global leaders in design, development, and manufacturing of Class 2 and Class 3 devices, specializing in active implantables, interventional devices, and precision components.
Asheesh, it's very obvious to me that we were kindred spirits from the beginning, but I had no idea that I was speaking to a fellow anteater. So zot zot, my friend. When we are talking about smart catheter innovation, I think it's really important to take it back and really talk through the challenges that we're facing. So I understand the goal, but can you help us understand, like, what do those challenges look like and what are we facing?
Sure. So for the broader audience who may not know exactly what smart catheters are or to define them better, I define a smart catheter as a specialized type of a catheter-based product or an interventional product that incorporates miniaturized electronics, sensors, or other advanced technologies within a catheter-based device. Like I spoke earlier, it could be for diagnostics, it could be for energy delivery, or it could be for any other therapeutic application. Typically, these devices, enable real-time data monitoring, transmission, enhanced diagnostic accuracy, or improve, therapeutic innovations that we're trying to deliver through these procedures. So that's how I define smart catheters. By the virtue of them being more complex and you're trying to integrate all these different functions into small catheters, the biggest challenge that I see is integration of the mechanical piece, the electronics, the firmware, and the software that comes with it. Typically, we are dealing with sometimes small signals, and so signal to noise ratio can be a problem. Electrical isolation of signal can be a problem, and if we are delivering energies, electrical safety can also be a potential challenge. So, to me, the biggest challenge with smart catheters, as I see right now, is the system level integration. How do we bring different methodologies from other areas into the catheter world so we can enable this electromechanical innovation and get those smart catheters out to the market?
Those challenges are definitely not minor. So have we made any progress thus far? I mean, what technical advances or achievements have brought us today to today's smart catheter? So at least we can understand that.
Sure. So, I mean, just the catheters by itself, there's a lot of work that's been done in miniaturizing the catheters. There was a time when a 6 French catheter used to be quite challenging. Now, as we navigate through the neurovascular applications and the neurovascular market, microcatheters or sub 8 French catheters are becoming more of the norm. So that's definitely helpful from catheter manufacturing perspective. Also, the advances in electronic packaging, also flex circuits and manufacturing of electrical circuits and electrical components has definitely allowed us to put electronics in more flexible packages, more foldable packages that allows them to be integrated at the tip of the catheter more easily than, let's say, a decade or two ago. And the third thing is, I think a lot of advances in soldering and welding equipment and the innovation there allows us to integrate or attach very, very small wires. I mean, sometimes you're talking about as small as 40 gauge wires that need to be attached and soldered and routed. And we still have to worry about isolation and all those things. So I think there's a lot of great work that has been done over the last couple of decades to enable some of these devices. but I think there's still a long way to go. And especially, we are hungry to pack more and more smart, if you will, into each catheter and drive more signals and get more data out. And so I think there's still a long way to go, and certainly people want to pack more stuff within those catheters.
The challenges and achievements make a lot of sense, and it does sound like we're going in the right direction. Maybe if we look at maybe in the next 2 to 5 years, can you give us a sense of what we might expect in terms of smart catheter innovation?
The two big areas that I see where a lot of innovation is happening, a lot of startups, even the larger OEMs are channeling a lot of their investment. One is on the electrophysiology side, where mapping of the heart, and then through that mapping, how do you do more targeted and focused ablation? We are seeing a pretty big push towards PFA compared to regular ablation. And so there's that aspect of smart catheters. And then the other aspect is advanced diagnostic catheters, advanced imaging catheters. So people are trying to miniaturize sensors and trying to integrate those miniaturized sensors at the tip of the catheters. So different sets of challenges. There are definitely some overlapping issues and gaps that we need to fill, which just come from, like I said earlier, small catheters pushing IDs and ODs down every day. And the catheters need to be kink resistant. They need to have the right tensile strength. They need to have the right lubricity and all those typical challenges that come with the catheters. But just talking about the diagnostic catheters or the imaging catheters, working directly with sensor manufacturers and then partnering with them and understanding each other's challenges. So they are developing the next line or next generation of sensors, which are more, I would say, ready to be integrated into the catheters and not just in more traditional devices, where maybe the form factor of the sensors is more longer and skinnier rather than your typical square or a rectangular form factor that typical electronic packages come in. So I think a lot of great opportunities, but I see the problem, there are 2-3 different ways we can tackle the challenges coming up.
All right, then let's take it no holds barred. Let's look a decade or more from now. What is your most hopeful view of the future of smart catheter innovation?
Sure. So, this is MedTech industry is such a fast moving industry. So, looking a decade ahead is almost like, we haven't even probably started thinking about things that might hit us in a decade. But, AI, let's just look at that. We know there's a tons of information that we can get from different parts of the anatomy. We want that data, we want to analyze that data, and then we obviously want to make smart decisions, and we want to enable our healthcare providers or physicians to make smarter decisions through that data. I think bandwidth is a problem right now. Signal to noise ratio is a bit of a problem. And I think in order to overcome these problems, we will need to move to more custom electronics or customized electronic packages. And so I think as smart catheter market increases, as the demand increases, I think a lot of electronic manufacturers are now saying that, hey, we need to come up with maybe more modular designs. Same thing with the sensor manufacturers. Modular designs, designs that allow for better wireless connectivity, less routing of wires. Flex Circuit and other substrate manufacturers are looking at how do we take out manual assembly and the challenges that come with integrating it, 10 components at a time. How do we go to more monolithic batch processed components so that we reduce the issues that come with manufacturing, make the products more reliable. And I think that will allow us to get more bandwidth, will allow for more data to come out of those devices. And more data means we can use AI more effectively. And like I said, enable our healthcare providers to make smarter decisions.
Asheesh Divetia, Head of Engineering and Technology for Cirtec Medical. Thank you so much for joining us on the future of MedTech opportunities. It was really interesting to unpack the state of the union for smart catheter innovation today and what it can look like in the future. Really appreciate your time and your insights.
Thank you for your time, Kelly.